Hello, everybody. Welcome to Slogan's Rock and Metal Extravaganza. We're here to finish up our Cinderella series with the last two albums, but we're gonna do the two Tom Kiefer albums. We got The Way Life Goes and Rise, his two solo albums. So we're gonna get right into it and start off with Danny, as I'm sure Logan will probably get into the whole history of it when we get to him. So we'll head over to Danny for his reviews. We'll start off
Oh,
with The Way Life Goes.
okay. Let me preface everything that I'm going to talk about. Both of these are my first listen,
Yeah.
and I don't like to say anything negative about anybody, and this isn't directed directly to anybody. This is art. It's whether it be literary or visual or whatever it may be. Uh, yeah, it's beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it's just some of them I'm not going to be very friendly on, and that's just my opinion. Let's start off with Solid Ground. I wrote this song starts off with a simple guitar line and then comes in bang. So this song sounds very reminiscent of the Faces. Remember Rod Stewart and the Faces? The guitar tone a little harsh, and in this particular mix, it sounds like the mix itself is hyped around 4 to 6K hertz, which is a bit fatiguing on the ears. I like the tune, but I'm not a fan of the production or mix on this song. So that's Solid Ground for me. A Different Light. Oh, I wrote, who's got the bubble gum? When this song breaks into the chorus, it's time to start blowing bubbles. In all seriousness, this chorus has a pop feel, and it sounds. Let's see. It didn't match the verses at all. The verses were simply pretty cool and simple. The production sounds a lot better on this song and the mix. It's not hyped, and it's not hyped like the first song was. This song is not for me. So, yeah, I mean, you kind of listen.
How dare you? How dare you?
Like listening to the Archies on steroids.
The Archies, yeah, Sugar Sugar.
That's right, Sugar Sugar. This was a bubblegum song for me. It just struck me weird.
It doesn't do well for his voice. He's not a bubblegum singer. It's weird.
No, yeah, that kind of poppy.
Not for him.
Not for Tom. Okay, It's Not Enough. This song is a bit reminiscent of Aerosmith. I kind of like the quirky guitar and vocals in the verses. Nothing complicated or overcomplicated. It's just cool. When this song breaks into the chorus, if Steven Tyler was singing, I would definitely 100% believe it was Aerosmith. This is my favorite tune so far. I really like it. So there's a good one. Cold Day in Hell. Once again, there's some kind of an EQ issue around the 4 to 6.5K range. It bothers me. Once it gets going, it's a good song. It's very reminiscent of the Stones. The mid-high frequencies that are going on in the intro are gone, and it's pleasant sounding now. So it's just in the intro. It's probably they filter something for an effect, and I didn't care for it. The chorus is pretty memorable. They have a nice breakdown about a quarter of the way through the sparse instrumentation with Tom's voice being filtered, and it sounds like he's singing through an empty toilet paper roll. 3/4 of the way through, they bring it down again with just the snare drum and Tom's voice. I like this song. Great job. It was a good song. Thick and Thin. In those days, they did a lot of ring of the voice, make it sound a little bit small and take out all the bottom end and cut the very high top. This one starts off with a piano and Tom's voice. He's out there naked, just him and the piano, and so far, so good. This is a ballad and it's very catchy. I remember that. Very, very catchy. I would go as far as to say very commercial. Tom is singing this with a lot of emotion. Tom brings in a beautiful bridge, and with the and the song just gets better. This song fades out with the chorus and through the outro of the song. That's a good song. I liked it a lot. That's one that, in the past I haven't liked their ballads, but there were some good ones. That was a good one. Ask Me Yesterday. This song starts off with Tom playing the 12th. The intro is also reminiscent of perhaps The Faces. Once again, Tom comes in with his vocals naked with just the 12 string underneath the vocal. This is another ballad tune with the drums coming in about a quarter of the way. Musically is reminiscent of the Stones for me. This one isn't quite as hooky as Thick and Thin. Fool's Paradise. First impression of the song, it sounded musically a bit like Billy Squier. The verses are simple, but when it gets to the chorus, it's memorable and well done. About midway, where you would normally hear a solo, the song gets a bit more dramatic and a bit more eerie. The song outro is a dead ringer for Aerosmith, the way the vocal harmonies are built. Great job. I really like this song. Yeah, it was a good one. The Flower Song. This one starts off with acoustic guitar. I'm not sure if it's a steel guitar or a pedal steel guitar, but played in country fashion. This one has a little bit of everything. It's kind of middle of the road. It's not a rocker, but perhaps you would hear something like this. You'd hear John Mellencamp do something like this. This chorus is very catchy, very, very catchy.
Oh yeah.
What's that, Logan?
Yeah, it's definitely catchy. Yeah,
definitely catchy. I'm thinking you don't like it, brother. Excellent.
No,
slide.
but it is a catchy song. Yeah, I gotta give them that.
Yeah, you can't take that away. Excellent slide work in the in the solo. I'm not sure who played it, but it was good.
I think it's Tom does all the guitar.
Dude, I didn't say great solo from Tom very often. That was a good solo, really tasty, and the tone was really good. It was a fun tune, talking about care of pretty girls and like a pretty flower. This song wasn't really my bag, but it was a great tune. You remember Austin Powers? It's not my bag, baby. That's kind of how I felt. Mood Elevator. Extremely reminiscent of Aerosmith. So far, this is the rockinest song, and I think I like it. Yeah, great song, verses and chorus. I really love the bridge also. Well done and well written. There's a little bit of weirdness going on about 2/3 of the way through the song, where it gets a bit chaotic, then breaks right back into the verse without a pause. This song ends on the chorus, repeating a few times with a surprising end. This song I loved. Welcome to My Mind. Oh, I remember this one. This one starts off fairly dissonant. It's it's kind of it's perhaps a bit chaotic. The verses are a bit eerie with the phase shifter on Tom's voice. Very nice chorus, very memorable. Welcome to Tom's Mind. Good song. I liked it. You showed me. This one starts off with just piano and Tom's voice. So far, this is a ballad and a love song, and I'm not hating it. Yes, this is a sensitive song. Sounds like Tom singing to a love. The second set of verses, the band comes in. It's a very nice emotional vocal performance by Tom. I have to give props to this song, even though I'm not a big fan. It's a great song. So, ain't that a bitch? That about a bitch. This one starts off with guitar and organ and clavinet, which was the instrumentation was a bit weird. In this, the verses are memorable, as are the choruses. This is kind of a hodgepodge for me. Perhaps he wrote the song just to get it out of his system. I think he missed the mark a little bit. This song as a whole is really not for my taste. The Way Life Goes. This one opens up with a simple guitar riff and drums kicking butt. Tom comes in with a slick vocal, slightly reminiscent of Lou Reed's Walking on the Wild Side. That had that vibe, that kind of that slick, sexy vibe to me. The second verse, Tom brings it up a notch, bringing his vocals up an octave higher. Bang, the chorus hits, and it's killer and memorable. Yes. It hits hard. I'm liking this song. The second set of verses come in, and boy, oh boy, this is reminiscent of Aerosmith. This just has a cool and slick vibe to it. This song is a real winner. I love it. That was my take on that. Great song. I did love that song very much. Babylon. Boy, that title fooled me a little bit. As per the title, I was kind of expecting like a Ronnie James Dio to come out as a guest singer. This is not a mystical song, as the title might lead one to believe. This is very reminiscent of the Stones on steroids. Kind of a Jumpin' Jack Flash vibe to it. You mentioned something about that earlier before. Yep. Let's see. Let's see. But this ain't the Stones. This is a freaking rocker. Great verse, great pre-chorus, and a very memorable chorus. Man, I'm loving this one. The bridge modulates a full step up, and the energy goes with it. The song is just building. What's this? A sax solo? Okay. It's a good one. After the solo, they bring down the dynamics and enter the chorus. They bring it right back up and rock the chorus hard to the end. Stay with us, Logan. Can you hear me?
I think so. Should be good.
Okay. Guys, I think this has to be one of my favorite Tom Kiefer songs.
Wow. Babylon?
This one's going on my personal playlist. Great.
Nice.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. I mean, what can I say? That song was a great song.
That's a great way to actually end the album, right? Like it's.
Yeah. I wish that would have been first. I mean, that.
Yeah. We could start the album with that.
Yeah. Set the mood for the whole album. That's a great album. Great song. Nobody's Fool. I mean, what can you say about this song? This is a fantastic song. I don't know if he needed to do it a couple more times, but I'll go one by one. This is a fantastic song in all three styles. This one starts off leaving the listener with wonder and anticipation. Kind of the same feeling as AC/DC's Hell's Bells in the beginning, where you don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
Surprise! We have a female vocalist starting off on this one, Lzzy Hale. Very nice. She's got a beautiful gruff voice, and she sounds great. Tom comes in the choruses to back Lzzy. This is a great rock ballad. Verse 2, Tom comes in with some emotional and intense vocals, same as Lzzy conveyed in the first verse. This is a great song, man. The third verse comes in, and they break down the dynamics and roll off the bottom and top of Tom's view. Gives it a very nice effect. The solo comes and Tom pulls off a surprisingly very, very tasty solo, almost reminiscent of Brian May. So this song ends with after a few chorus lines. For me personally, I'd like to hear a full album of this. I loved it.
That's the first album. So,
well, I mean, a full album of these kind of songs.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
great song. That song's you can't get that out of your head. That's a great song, man. I loved it. Of course, I love the original, but I like these other two versions a lot. With a little help from my friends. Oh my God, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. This one starts off reminiscent of Joe Cocker's version, and I'll just say reminiscent because it's basically the same arrangement. Tom's voice sounds fairly strong through the first verse and through the chorus. It's pretty much identical to Cocker's version.
Yeah.
If you've ever heard Joe Cocker's version, then the song may if you've never heard Joe Cocker's version, then this song may touch a first-time listener. Nothing new in this one. I've heard Joe Cocker's version 1,000 times, and I think you'd be better off if you'd listen to his version instead of this one. That's a stinker, but probably something he needed to do because he loved the song so much. Nobody's Fool. This is the second version on the album. Once again, Lzzy's performance is gives an emotional and intense vocal. So far, I don't know which version I like the best of these two. Of course, I like the original the best, but gosh, the sparse instrumentation really features the vocals, and I'm liking it. Tom comes in on the second verse and lays it down emotionally and with intensity. At the end of the chorus, they bring it down with some kind of electronic drums. It's a nice effect. The strings, they're really laying down a nice, beautiful, haunting string pad for the vocals. I don't know which one is best. It's a great song, and at this point, I can't choose which one I like better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a great song. You'd have to do a lot of BS to kill that song, you know, and he did it tastefully. I think that's the end of that one, isn't it?
Yeah. So what would you give it if you were to rate it?
This was not as consistent as like Cinderella. I mean, I definitely and obviously there's great stuff on there, and there's some stuff on there that I didn't like. I didn't like at all. I have to give that, all things considered, him being Tom Kiefer and Cinderella, I got to give it at least a 7.
Okay.
That's just a 7.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's good. All right. I wasn't expecting that. Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
It
cool.
wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the good songs outshine the bad ones for me.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we'll head on over to Logan now. See if his internet's working. We'll see.
You
Logan?
He's
guys hear him?
Yep.
You guys hear
Yeah,
me?
you're good.
No?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I think Danny made some good points about this album. Yeah. Um, a lot of the same bands he was talking about, Faces, Stones, Aerosmith. Really, Tom really wears his influences on his sleeves, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well said.
Yep.
Well said, Logan.
But yeah, I wrote some info down on this one. Uh-oh. Come back to me. Maybe? No? All right. So I'll just get into the little bit of the information I wrote down on the album. Came out in April of 2013 on Merovee Records, which I've never heard of. I guess it's a subsidiary of Warner Music, so kind of makes sense, I guess. And the album debuted at number 78 on the Billboard 200 chart. I wrote down the band consists of Greg Morrow on drums, Michael Rhodes on bass, Tony Harrell on piano, and of course Tom, playing guitar and a couple other things. There's a bunch of different people on this album too, and it seemed like a lot of it was Nashville session players, and even Jeff LeVar is on one track. I can't remember what one that is. I think I wrote it down in the notes, so when we get there. But yeah, and Tom had been working on this album since 2003. So yeah, he was at it for a while on this one. But yeah, I'll get into the tracks here. Solid Ground kind of really starts off in kind of Cinderella fashion with that blues lick and like some staccato guitar lines. Kiefer brings some heavy screams to this one. Goes into that verse riff, which has a nice call and response type riff in this one with Tom singing his line and the guitar playing immediately after. Nice chord changes in the pre-chorus, and then the chorus, some slide guitar shows up, which I always love when Kiefer does that. Kind of a great track, just about holding your head up and staying strong in tough times, which is something he goes back to often in these albums, both these albums. Yeah, it's got a little gospel feel towards the end with the female backing vocal. Another great Kiefer scream to end this track nicely, and it kicks the album off in fine fashion, I think. Then we get to A Different Light, which was Danny's favorite. Yeah, totally different feel from the previous track on this one. Really shows some of Tom's more like country influence, I will say, which will show up a couple times on here. His wife Savannah's in the backing vocal on this one, which I wrote down. She does help Tom write 8 of the album's 14 songs, so that's kind of cool. But I don't think it's a bad song. It's got a nice positive chorus to it. It's just not one I go back to really. But yeah, that's the second track. So I'll go to the third track. It's Not Enough, which I think Danny said this one was like Aerosmith influenced. Got a great wah-wah guitar riff, which sounds all compressed kind of, and Tom's vocal comes in. He's got like a lot of swagger on this song. Really like this one. Kind of has a 1 foot in modern rock, and then something that could have came out in the later period of Cinderella's career, maybe on Heartbreak Station. Tom gets another scream in on the bridge section. It's got some nice slide guitar comes in. But it's a solid rock track that fades with some more slide work and Tom singing the chorus. This is probably one of the highlights for me on here. Cold Day in Hell. This is the first of a couple songs co-written with Jim Peterick of all people. From Survivor and 38 Special fame and stuff. This one has some harmonica and a laid back feel to it. Not a bad track. Has a horn section on it too. Do enjoy the trade-offs with the guitar lines and the harmonica and the lead break. And then this song has that classic Cinderella style breakdown that I always talked about in those reviews when we did those. That's about all I wrote down for that one. That's a good track too. Thick and Thin is the first piano ballad on the album. Kind of sounds like a love song he wrote for his wife. It's a nice song with a great sentiment to it. I wrote down, but maybe Tom wrote ballads better when he was heartbroken, because it seems like all the 80s and 90s ballads he wrote were always like down and out kind of people. Probably talking about his personal life, I'm sure. And I said this song is tailor made for weddings, though. So I don't know if anybody's used this as a wedding song, but there's another song later on this record that I call the wedding song. So it's got a nice positive message in the chorus. Bridge has some interesting changes, which leads into some nice lead work. Too short though. A lot of the leads on this album just kind of leave me cold because they come and go so fast. There's a couple tracks that don't, but yeah. So we get to Ask Me Yesterday. This is kind of part of a little tiny issue I have here, is like the sequencing of this album, because you get that ballad Thick and Thin, and then you get another one right after it. It's like they could have, spaced it out a little bit more. The guitar lick at the start of this one reminds me of Stones, more acoustic stuff they did, Wild Horses, maybe Dead Flowers. Even the way Tom sings this one has a little Jagger in it to me. I like this one though. Lyrically, it's a little more introspective, singing about his past and how his life has changed throughout the years. Jim Peterick and Savannah Kiefer both co-wrote this tune with Tom. I think it's one of the better offerings in the country style he was going for on this one. Some nice clean lead guitar work, which I think shows Tom had some Nashville session guys on this one. But we'll get into Fool's Paradise here. I think it was another one of Danny's favorites. Track has more of a blues feel to it when the vocal comes in. Don't know what that keyboard sound is at the start. It has like some kind of sound to it. You have to listen to it to understand what I'm talking about. But Tom and Savannah's vocals sound pretty good together on this one. This one lyrically seems to be about changing times and kind of Tom adapting to things like that, futuristic stuff. And I think in the middle part of the song is like a little Mid-Eastern kind of part that kind of reminds me of Zeppelin for a couple bars in the line. Yeah, I like the cool parts on this album. To me, it disappears too fast. Like they could have worked on that a little bit more. But yeah, it probably is one of the better tunes on here. Now we'll get to the album's first single, which I couldn't believe. I guess I can believe it because, like, when I was talking to Danny, this is definitely a hooky song, the Flower Song. And this one is a Jim Peterick co-written song. So, but yeah, it kind of makes sense. I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I said a nice but strange sentiment from Tom comparing girls to flowers. I mean, I think everything on this track, the B3 organ work shines through in the chorus section for me. And the lead break, I like the lead break in this one. I'm sure there's some more people who might like this track more than me, like especially if you're gonna like country, which I am a little bit. I mean, I grew up on that stuff, so. But I think this could have been a hit on country radio, honestly. But yeah, this wouldn't have been my pick for the leadoff single, but they didn't ask me in 2013 because I was 10 years old. So we'll get to Mood Elevator now, which is another rocking track. It's most welcome for me here. Tom gives a gritty vocal, and I think he's tuned to drop D. Seems like there's a couple of songs on both this one and Rise where he's tuned to that. Like the changes on this song with the section after the chorus going into lighter tones to that gritty blues of the intro of the song. This is the one that features Jeff LaBar, which I thought was cool. He had one of the Cinderella guys on here because Eric and Fred Corey, Fred Corey isn't even really Cinderella's drummer when you think about it. But yeah, at least Jeff shows up on this one. That's a cool track, I think. Welcome to My Mind. I think Danny liked this one more than I do. That chorus, man, just kind of gets on my nerves. I like the circular sounding riff and the phaser effect with Tom's vocal and the guitars on the verses. I like the riff after the chorus on this song. And Tom gives another pretty cool scream on this one that goes into the solo section. Before we go back into that chorus, then this one off. Had to take a drink break, guys. This is a long album. You Showed Me is the next track. We get to another piano ballad on this one. Again, sounds like it could be another wedding song to me. Perfectly fine for that sort of thing. Just not something I want to listen to all the time. And I did notice, I wrote this down. The two ballad songs, seems like he wrote them for his wife. She isn't credited, so I guess that's cool. He kind of wrote them for her, you know. What a loving husband Mr. Kiefer is. But yeah, then we get to Ain't That a Bitch, which total Tom Petty feel in this one with I don't know if anybody here is gonna know this. Last Dance with Mary Jane was a big song. Really, you listen to that song's intro and this song, it's the main riff is like the same. It's just different chords, sounds like. I don't mind this one. I think him and Savannah sound good together on this one. And I wrote down the chorus line, "Can't break a wild horse, baby." You know, it's kind of a cool country rock tune. Then we get to the title track. Yeah, exactly. That's the way life goes. Which is the next track we're going to talk about here. One of my other favorites on here. I think Danny said this one was one of his favorites too. I like the story element to the lyrics on this one, and I didn't even think about the Lou Reed thing until Danny picked that up. So that was a nice catch. Singing about like Bobby and Peggy in the first verse and Georgie and Eileen in the next, and they're like different how would you say it's type of relationships. One, you know, it's like the cheerleader and the jock at school and they don't work out, but everybody thinks they're going to, and then the other one are like two people who don't think they're going to be together forever and they end up being together forever. So it's kind of funny. Song, I guess I did mention a little bit, Walk on the Wild Side here, has almost jazz feel in the verses. It goes nicely with that rocking chorus section. Some guitar and harmonica shows off in the last bit of this one with the repetition of the chorus line. Yeah, it's probably one of the better tracks on here. Then we'll get to Babylon. Yeah, this definitely isn't Gates of Babylon. Last track on the original album. Song has a laid-back rock feel to the verses with Tom giving a confident vocal. I like in the chorus section when Tom sings Babylon, it has an effect behind him, making like a cool, slowed down kind of noise. It's a nice hooky tune with gang vocals and all on this one. Bridge changes some tones and gives us a saxophone solo, which I thought was cool because it's the first time you've heard saxophone on this album, I'm pretty sure. I think it's a good track and a nice way to end the album off. And of course, we get to the deluxe version, which Danny talked about. Two versions of Nobody's Fool. They're both okay. Lizzie Hale, great singer. They do it well together, I think. Both versions are great. I mean, it's a great song, so how, you know, you can't really go wrong with Nobody's Fool. And, you know, they're them doing with a little help from my friends, I guess. I did watch the thing. Tom says they like to end the shows off with this kind of to send people off, you know, in a happy mood, I guess. You know, it's okay for what it is. Don't really care for Joe Cocker's version. I am a Beatles guy. I know nobody else here probably is. But, you know, even the Beatles version, I'm like, you know, it's okay. But, yeah, them three tracks are the deluxe versions. And then I was going to mention here, I said it in the chat, there's also a track on the Japanese version of this album called Getting Even, which I think is one of the better tracks on the album, really. Has some Stones-like qualities to it. Great slide work in the chorus and the verses on that one. Tom's vocal goes nicely with the guitar work behind it. And Tom uses that, like, Pringles can toilet paper roll thing Danny was talking about, like how he does in Bad Attitude Shuffle. I don't know why they left this one off the US release because it's pretty good. And then we'll get, I guess I'll rank it, rate it. I think overall it's pretty solid. I do like most of the tracks. Maybe one too many ballads. I get that this album took 10 years to make, but it doesn't mean you got to throw everything on an album, you know. I want to mention too before I rate it, there's on YouTube, you can look this up. It's like The Way Life's Going. It's like a 30-minute little documentary about making this album. It's kind of interesting. Lizzie Hale's there. You know, Savannah, the rest of the band, all the Nashville people. Because I think he recorded most of this in Nashville, I believe. So that would make sense for some of it. But yeah, I guess for a rating, I would probably go a 6. because I like most of it, but I wouldn't say all of it's great. But it's still Kiefer, and I am grateful that he did decide to make all these albums. So,
Perfect.
well, these
All
two
right.
albums.
Very good, Logan.
Nice. All right.
Good
I guess
job.
I'm the bad guy again. All
Oh,
right. Okay. So yeah, we start off with Solid Ground. It's a fun beat, upbeat rock song with, I hear the Rolling Stones influence in this almost when the kind of like almost the later Stone stuff or stuff, the stuff they've been doing now, when they kind of throw in like these really gritty songs. Kind of reminds me of like the kind of the really gritty, heavy Stone stuff. It's a decent song. I think it probably could have fit on Heartbreak Station. So yeah, it's actually a strong start to the album. And then yeah, Different Light, same sentiments as you guys. I can't believe this is Tom Kiefer. Like, you played me this, you could play me this 10 times, I would never guess who it is. I'd be like, I don't know, some Ed Sheeran, I don't know. I would think it's like some just modern pop singer. I can't believe it's him. It almost sounds like something that you would hear by that band Train, which is not my thing at all. Just not for me. If you're into
Hey,
like
Soul
modern
Sister.
day, if you're into like modern day pop music, then yeah, that's yeah. Even the way he's singing, I'm like, that's not your voice, Tom. It's just, I don't know, it sounds weird to me.
yeah.
It just shows you he's got such a good voice that he can easily pull off that easy bubblegum stuff. It's probably nothing for him. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not for me.
Very strange.
Yeah.
That was very strange. Sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah. No, it's good. And yeah, it's not enough. Now this I like. We get back to like the upbeat rock song. And again, I hear a bit of the Rolling Stones in this. Like, there's a lot of Stones. Like you guys said, yeah, we picked that up. It's very, you know, where it sounds like the Stones when all three of us have said it. So it's a lot of Rolling Stones influence here. I like this more than Solid Ground, actually. Yeah, it's a pretty good song. Great song. And then Cold Day in Hell, again, more sort of Rolling Stones with lots of harmonica. I'm not a big harmonica guy, so the song doesn't really do much for me. It's an okay song, just a bit too much harmonica. Not my favorite. Thick and Thin, yeah, this is, to me, this is a ballad, just back to the radio-friendly pop rock. Does have a little short bluesy solo in the middle, but then it's like 3 seconds and it's over. It doesn't do much for me. I'm not big on the not big in this type of ballad. I don't know. It just seems too much like something that would be played on modern pop radio for me. I guess the song he's probably writing it for his wife and everything. So yeah, it's just not my thing. And then yeah, same with Ask Me Yesterday. Just a ballad doesn't do much for me. Just not to say, not too much to even say about that song really. Just, I don't know. For a lot of these songs, I just struggle to write even notes or anything because everything it's just nothing stood out. And then yeah, Fool's Paradise, kind of a slow but somewhat heavy rock song compared to everything else that's on here. Then the chorus kind of goes to that modern radio sound.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cool slide guitar solo in the middle, and then again near the end before the song fades out. It's an okay song, just nothing too memorable. And then yeah, Flower Song, just more modern radio pop rock, does nothing. A little Stones influence. It's almost like he's, I guess, because the title of the song even is like he attempting Dead Flowers kind of thing.
Yes.
Even called it the Flower Song, so it kind of reminds me like he was trying to go for that sort of.
Mm.
But it's just more with a modern pop rock mixed with the Stones influence. That's what I kind of hear with that. Yeah, and then we completely switch it up to Mood Elevator, which is easily the heaviest song on the album so far. And yeah, there's some really cool leads thrown in throughout this song.
Mm-hmm.
My only disappointment is at the end, these really raunchy leads kick in with Tom screaming, but then it's over.
Yeah.
Just as the song's getting amazing, he's going nuts with these really cool leads, and he's screaming, and then it's like, wait, what? Thought it was just getting started.
Yeah. It's over.
But yeah, it's a great song. Like, I wish there was more of that. But like, that's the thing. There's the great moments on this are great, but it's so short-lived.
Yes.
Like,
very well said.
The solo should have been extended or something on that, but there is some cool leads going throughout the song. To me, it's the standout so far. But then we get into the Welcome to My Mind. This is the highlight of the album for me. Welcome to My Mind. It's like a really dark, heavy song with a great bridge and chorus that sticks in your head.
Mm-hmm.
I love the scream he does, and it's followed by this really weird guitar solo. Just a really weird song, but just a really good solo. It's just a great song. Like, yeah, he's just, yeah, I don't know, it's just a really good song. And then, yeah, you showed me back to the modern pop radio again after two great rock songs, and then it's this. It's, I don't know, not my thing. Then, yeah, we get to the Ain't That a Bitch. Now, this it has a bit of a modern rock sound, but for some reason I like this one a little bit more because it's got like this Hammond organ going throughout, got like a fun bluesy solo, and I like Tom's mid-range singing on this. I think this one really shows his natural singing voice the most. Just really like his voice on this. So yeah, it's even though it has that modern rock sound a bit, it's better than the other more modern sounding songs because it still has that older elements to it. And then yeah, The Way Life Goes. Yeah, I didn't pick up, but yeah, that is total Tom Petty. That has that Last Dance for Mary Jane beat. I said Stones again, but yeah, you're right. It's because Stones did that kind of stuff too. But yeah, not a bad song, just very repetitive. Like I think the female background vocals with him and or with his wife and whoever else is just yeah, I think they do a great job on it. It's just yeah, not a bad song. Just yeah, it's just very again very Rolling Stones. And like I said, yeah, it does have that. Like you said, there's that Tom Petty riff going on there. So then yeah, then we get to Babylon. Now this to me, yeah, this is great. At least they ended the album strong here. This is a great song. Just this still sounds like up Rolling Stones, but like on steroids, like you said. It's a fun upbeat song. The saxophone solo,
Mhm.
get that sax solo in there, which is kind of funny. It kind of reminds me of the song "Bitch" by the Stones. I don't think it's the same notes or anything, but it's just I guess because it's the saxophone, just the whole beat of the song
Good comparison. Good comparison.
kind of has that. It reminds me of "Bitch" for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's just a great way to end the album. So yeah, it's and then yeah, that was the original end of the album, and then what we're talking about, they had the deluxe version. I'm not sure how soon after it was released, but they had a deluxe version which included 3 bonus songs, which the first of was just a duet version of New But Nobody's Fool, re-recording from the first album. It's just totally different, completely different than the original. I prefer Tom's vocals on the original more. I mean, granted, he's a lot older, so you can't expect him to sing like he did on his first album when he's in his early 20s. So you got to kind of let that part of it go. But yeah, I do prefer his vocals more on the original. But I think Lizzie and Tom's voices do go really well together. She's got a great voice. If you're going to do a duet with Tom, you better have a good voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she does a good job. The solo sounded a little bit different as well on here. I still prefer the original. Just seems like a cover song that it's not as nearly as good as the original, but he did it, and I guess it's your biggest hit. So if you're gonna redo one of your biggest hits, it's obviously, yeah, it's okay. It just kind of seems like it's unnecessary, right? Especially as like a deluxe version. I would have rather hear just a new song altogether. And then yeah, we get to the cover of With a Little Help from My Friends. It's basically the Joe Cocker version with Tom Kiefer singing. His voice is great on it. He does a great job of it, but it's the same song.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's there. You listen to it, and it's just like, okay, it's there. It's yeah. It's not a song you can really cover and change it much. Like, how would you really change that song? Really, it's got that organ and everything. You're not really.
Yeah.
It's well performed. It's well done. It's like okay. I would have preferred they did Jumpin' Jack Flash because like they did cover that live before. That would have been cool to do. If you're gonna do a Stone, like they had Stones all over this, and then they did.
That's an
Joe Cocker.
excellent
Like,
suggestion. Excellent.
yeah, that would have been cool. If he's gonna do a cover, that's a cover I would have preferred to do. Something high energy as opposed like Jumpin' Jack Flash. I've never been a big fan of the original either, or the Beatles one. It's an okay song, but it's just I don't know. Yeah, should have done the Stones tune for sure. It's just, and then yeah, Nobody Fool the piano version. Like, I don't know. For me, when you just lose the guitar in the song, it's not for me. I'm not sure if I should fall asleep or be scared of Tom because it sounds creepy kind of without the guitar and his just really rough voice. Yeah, almost sounds like a horror movie version of the song, which I just don't think it works for a song like this. I don't know. It's just not my thing. But like, it's well performed. It's just not for me. For me, it's not a great album. I like about half of it. There's a lot of it I could personally do without. So I like half, I'd probably give it a 5.
Ooh.
So, and Logan went off video because he's so upset. Oh,
Come back, Logan.
it's okay. It's not his turn yet anyway. But hopefully he comes back. So yeah, we're gonna get into Rise.
Well, we were all pretty much on the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much song by
Yeah.
song. We pretty much all on the same.
What for a guy who hadn't recorded anything, like his first recording before this was Still Climbing, which was in '94. So to come back like 30 years later with this, for me to give it like even a 5, to me, like a lot of these guys will come back with something 30 years later and it's just complete garbage, and it's like,
Yeah.
but it is an attempt at something different, right? It's
What year was Rise written?
Rise. Let's see. Even these two are so far apart.
Hard
The
to-
release. Let's see.
Hard to find a lot of information on Rise, too. There's no
Yeah.
Wikipedia page for Rise. It's kind of
It was released in 2019,
Okay.
and then The Way Life Goes was what, 2003? Was it not?
2013, Sydney. They started writing in 2003.
13. Okay, right. But even still, 13 to 19, that's 14, 15. They got 6 years between albums, so,
Yeah.
and they sound nothing alike.
No, not
So-
at all.
And this was the Tom. So yeah, we got Rise now, but this is the Tom Kiefer band. So I'm assuming it's not even. I don't even think it's the same lineup that was on the first one, because it seems like, yeah, the first one he went to like Nashville for all these with all these session musicians, and this, I guess he just actually put a band together and called it the Tom Kiefer band and came out with this instead. So get to Danny and his scathing review. So
Well,
take it over.
once again, yeah. Let's start with the song "Touching the Divine," first song on the album. I put down, boy, I really hate to say what I think about this one, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Literary artists can write whatever they want.
Do it, Danny. Do it.
Can paint whatever they want. Script writers can write anything they want in a movie, and musical artists can do whatever they want. I mean, this song is a bit bewildering to me. I don't find any value in this song musically at all. It's a bunch of noise. I'm sorry. That's
Kiefer is in this band, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Danny, I got to remember that word, bewildering. That's a good word, man.
bewildering. Yeah, it makes you wonder, Death of Me. This one starts off with a scratchy record at the beginning, about one bar of that, and then boom, in comes a heavy guitar. Now we got a rocker. What's this? Nice break before the verse. They break it down. Tom's vocal comes in and it's highly filtered. The low EQ is cut and the high end is cut. It's the toilet paper song. And the driving sound is almost reminiscent of Deep Purple. This was a driving song. The chorus is angry and pissed off.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be the death of me. It's memorable and catchy. This was a great song for me. It was a good tune for me. If you like the rock, that's a good tune. Waiting for the Demons. This one starts off with just acoustic guitar. This is a ballad with Tom's voice is raw and naked, sometimes even slightly cracking. The drums and bass come in on the second verse and bring this song up a notch. If you put Mick Jagger on this song, you would think for sure it's a Stones tune. This song sounds like it could be a very personal song for Tom. I'm not sure. But this one, for me, gets 2 thumbs down. I didn't like it. Yeah, 2 thumbs down, brother. Sorry, Tom, wherever you are.
He's not watching, don't worry.
Probably not. Nor would he give a damn. This song is a bit dissonant. This song's called Hype. It's a bit dissonant and chaotic. It's pretty much one or two note melody. I'm sorry, guys. This one's a real stinker. He's written so many great songs. I don't know what he was thinking on this. That's what I got for that tune. Untitled. Oh, I remember this one. This is kind of a bluesy song with lots of slide. There's tons of reverb on Tom's voice so far, and it's pretty much washing out the entire mix, all the instrumentation. Maybe it's on purpose for an effect. Here comes the song. Reverb wash is almost gone. First verse is over. The first verse is over, and we're back into the reverb again. Now back into the heavy guitar, and it sounds a bit Nirvana-ish. Man, this song is all over the, I won't say that word, all over the place, going nowhere fast. Man, I'm sorry, guys. Musically and melodically, this song has nothing to offer anyone unless you're just stoned out of your mind and don't give a shit about what you're listening to. Sorry, guys.
Oh boy, wait till we get to me.
Oh. Well, we did pretty good on the first. We're pretty well matched up. Maybe we'll match on this one too. Who knows? Let's see. Oh, I lost my place, did I?
You're at Rise.
Rise.
Title track. Yeah.
Thank you. Rise. This is the album's title track. Tom and piano start this off. It's a ballad, and so far it sounds heartfelt. Instrumentation starts building on the second verse, and the song gets a little better. Whoa, the bridge breaks in, and it sounds almost diabolic. Nice change. Tom takes a short slide solo after the bridge, and it breaks down sparsely into the verse. Nice dynamic movement. This song had a lot of movement in it. It was pleasant. The song's a little better than the last couple, even though it's a ballad. Lots of oohs and ahs repeating over and over and over again, which gets a bit annoying for about a minute and a half.
He needs help rising up. Danny, come on now.
That's what Viagra's for.
I don't know. He can bring other people down with that too.
Good one, man. Good one.
I'm just kidding. I said, it's okay. I'll take this one. So it was a good song. It was a good song. It just got a little repetitive near the last minute and a half, but good song. All amped up. Oh, nice intro. Keep it up, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a rocker here. Yeah. So far, this is the Tom we know and reminisce and is reminiscent of AC/DC. The verse is strong. Yeah, this is good. It's a great rocker, great chorus. Come on, Tom, keep this one on track. Second verse, second chorus, good. Here comes the solo, and it's okay. So far, so good. I think we got a winner. This one ends with the chorus outro with a typical concert bam and crash. So it's like, one got, let's see, this one I really liked. So we got a couple on there I like. It's not all bad for me. Breaking Down. This is a down tempo song. Nice intro and first verse. Second verse comes in and it's getting more interesting so far. The song reminds me of like Alice Cooper on steroids. I like it though. Memorable chorus. Yeah, this is a good one. Taste for the Pain, I'm sorry. This one starts off and it sounds like a one note drone on the organ. Tom's voice comes in over the top. Okay. The piano comes in and accompanies the organ. And then eventually the drums come in and everybody comes in with it. And it's getting better. This is an emotional song and a good one. It's a ballad, but with a great feel. Wait a minute. Does he know my girlfriend? has he been in my head?
It's weird him writing these songs when he's been married for like 30 years. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
It's just
So stomp on my soul and twist your blade. I'll just come back and again and again. He knows both of us. Great emotional ballad. I do like this song, even though he's singing about my girlfriend. Yeah, he nailed that pretty good. I like that. It was a good song. I liked it a lot. It's interesting when artists, comedians, or any of the arts, where you can be reading somebody that takes the words right out of your mouth, or you see a comedian that's making fun of something that you've gone through. That's what makes it funny. And yeah, he's written a few things you could really easily relate to. So he's a great lyricist.
yeah, it's funny because this doesn't really apply to him because I think he's been with his wife since like high school or something.
That's crazy. Well,
She's like his high school sweetheart. They've been together forever. Yet he's writing all these breakup songs and stuff. But I don't think this is really the truth about him. He's just writing this for people that it would apply to, right?
It might have been like that, opposites attract.
Yeah, who knows?
No, but good point. I mean, if he's been with this girl since he was a high school kid, that says a lot for him, his character.
Yeah.
So I respect that very much. Life Was Here. There's the Tom we all know and love. This is reminiscent of AC/DC. This song is really rocking hard, and I'm liking it. The verses are strong, and the chorus is great. After the solo, they break the song down for a beautiful effect, and then go back into rocking. This is a well-written song, and I wish the album had more of this. Obviously, I really like that one. You Believe in Me. Yeah. This is a very emotional and sensitive song. It was a ballad. Starts off with acoustic guitar, Tom singing once again, and it sounds very personal and heartfelt. It's a very personal and heartfelt ballad. It's a good song. I mean, for what it is, it was a good song. We've all heard love songs, but he did a good job. I liked it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Logan. Boy, there were some stinkers on here, in my opinion. I didn't like them at all, as you noticed. But there were a few really good songs too. So I think I'm going to give this a 6.7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. It's not bad.
No.
All right. So, Logan. Uh-oh. I should remove us. I'll just remove us again.
Yeah.
The organ? Let me know. Okay, cool. Yeah, Danny brought up some good points about this one. I think I like it a little bit more than he does. I think Sydney does too, but more on that in a little bit. But yeah, second album Rise came out in September of 2019, and it was on Cleopatra Records, which I think the reissue of Way Life Goes in 2017 that came with them deluxe. The deluxe version was on Cleopatra too, so I'm not sure what happened to that other label. Might have folded or something, and they just released both of them around the same time. And I found out, I looked at the personnel on here, again, just like the last one. Guys I don't really know, never heard of. Tony Higbee on guitars, Billy Mercer on bass, Jared Pope on drums, and Corey Myers on keyboards. Excuse me. And Kendra Chantel and Savannah, of course, on backing vocals. Again, like the album previous. Kendra, I don't think she was on the last one. I think it was just Savannah, but yeah. So we get to Touching the Divine, started this album off. Starts off with Kendra and Savannah's vocals before we get a little slide guitar work and some ominous keyboards before the drums come in and the full band. And it has a great killer slide intro and the full band part. Tom kicks off the verses with some hanging guitar chords, giving plenty of vocal room on this one. Has a pretty catchy chorus section that goes back into the slide riff from earlier. Right off the bat of the song, you can tell this album is more in the Cinderella style of than the previous one. We get to Death of Me, which is one of my favorites. I watched the video to this one. I like the video to it. It shows like a TV and it's like going through all the stuff Tom's been through. Goes through like the vocal surgeries and the band getting dropped from the label, Cinderella getting dropped from the label because they couldn't produce an album. And, it's all kinds of stuff that probably brought Tom down. And, this one, Tom sings about perseverance, which he knows all about. Everything that's happened to him in his life. Love a song with a positive message, and I think this one nails it in that aspect. And I think this song has a serious Night Song style riff. It's just a little more faster in tempo than the song Night Songs. And there's a great little lead break in the middle of the song with the band building up to that chorus again. It's a cool, just a cool rocker, I'd say. We get to Waiting on the Demons, which for me personally, this is where the big difference between the first and the second albums are to me. Really enjoy the acoustic ballad type tunes on this one. I just think the songs are better written on the album compared to The Way Life Goes, which is weird when you think about it, because I don't know, Tom was working on that first album for 10 years. You would think those would be pretty good written songs, but it just didn't come off right to me for some reason. But I think this one is great. It's got a great emotional chorus. Tom being joined with the female backing vocals really adds a nice touch to this one. Very Rolling Stones like again. Nice slide solo in the song. Really fitting in that slower blues type feel they got in the song. Yeah, I like this one a fair bit. Then we get to Hype. Another one of my favorites, man. I love Hype. All about the state of the music industry and how Tom feels about it. Kind of like what he wrote, Blood from a Stone, from Still Climbing, kind of the same lyrical theme. Love his vocals on this one. He really screams it up at the end of the song, which is so cool to hear again. Musically, the song's probably one of the darker sounding songs. I think drop D tuning again, which fits nicely for that middle instrumental break with some great slide playing. I'm glad he returned to the slide more on this album, as I love Cinderella stuff when they bring it out. It's another great rocker from Tom and Company. So we got Untitled is the fifth track. Another one of my favorites. I love this song. More slide work introduces us before Tom comes in with a great gritty vocal playing off the slide riff. The percussion in this section is kind of weird too. It almost sounds like a chain being dragged around before that electric guitar riff comes in and gives the song even more of a hard rock sound. Nice dynamic shifts in the song between the verse section with the slides and that slide riff that comes in and out of the song. The lyrics in this one seem like Tom is really pissed at someone. He really gives his vocals a run for their money again with a great scream heading into the solo section on this one. For being called Untitled, I think the song really shows some great songwriting skills and awesome musicianship. Love how this one ends with that piano riff kind of descending, turning into an all-out jam with some more solo work. Another winner in my book. I think this probably, if they played it live, it could have went down well. I do not know much about their touring history and everything. I'm sure they stick to Cinderella mainly, probably, which I understand. That was Tom's bread and butter, man. So, but I could see them throwing that into a set. But then we get to the title track, Rise, which piano-driven ballad, heavy gospel type feel, very inspirational. I think the girls' backing vocals on this one really show them off in the best light on this album, helping Tom in the chorus section. Like the drum cadence, I like the drum cadence rhythm this song gets. Very unique for a song like this. Now, I know. I think Still Climbing, the song Still Climbing, had a little like military marching beat too. But that was more of like a rock, up-tempo tune. This one's kind of like a ballad. You don't hear that kind of military drumming style in songs like this. About 2 minutes in, some heavy guitar shows up. And I said really rises the track up before it goes back to just Tom and the piano. Before it where that before the last minute or so is all the band playing together very nicely with the title song or title line sung over. Music really fits the words in the song. It's a very uplifting style tune. I wrote down great title track. When we get to All Amped Up, which I wrote down, AC/DC tinged riff kicks this one off, and again you get older Cinderella vibes right off the bat on this song. Great riff. Tom gives a great vocal. Like the little split second unison guitar part before the solos. It's got a great catchy chorus on this one. Just a great fun hard rock song. And I think the key word on this one, it sounds like the band are having fun, you know. And this one has an awesome Kiefer scream too. So we get to Breaking Down, which when I was looking into some of this stuff, I went on Kiefer's YouTube channel, and it seems like he still posts, well, whoever makes the videos, I don't know. It's probably not him, obviously. But they still like post videos from this album still. Like there's a video for Breaking Down from like 7 months ago. And it's like all AI. It's like a music video. It's got the lyrics and stuff. It's weird. But, you know, I guess they're just trying to push the album a little bit. But even though it's 6 years old, I don't know what they're really doing with it. But get a nice laid back blues riff to start this song up. Great relatable lyrics on this one, like the opening, the drag myself to sleep just to drag my ass awake. I thought that was funny. Great chorus on this one with very prominent backing vocals, some nice hard rock chugging on the guitars. Probably my favorite lead break on the album is on this song. Full of pentatonic licks, blues styling. They played this one live. This is another one I wrote down. I could see the last section going to some more solo spots live. Then we get to Taste for the Pain. Another one of the ballads on this one has heavy piano backing. But the thing is, the drums are doing that cadence again that they already did on the title track. So, which is cool, but it's like they already did that. It's kind of strange why they would do it again. It's probably my least favorite on the album. Seems like Tom already wrote a song like this on here to me. Comes off as a little bit of filler, maybe. Saying that, as always, Tom and the female backing vocals sound very nice together on this tune. And the solo in this song is like half country, half blues, kind of. It's interesting. It's not bad, but probably not my favorite. Life Was Here is another hard rocker. Comes in with a nice riff and Tom's unique vocal, as always, carry this tune. To me personally, sounds a little like something we already heard on the album, just like Taste for the Pain. The last 3 or so are kind of like this for me. It's not a bad song. I do like the chorus on this one. That riff that kicks in right after with some late lead guitar backing. Girls really hold the bridge section down on this one. I think it is just the girls singing the bridge on this song before we break back into that chorus to close this one out. So that's Life Was Here. And we get the ballad, the one wedding song we get on this one, I said, as opposed to the two on the earlier one, You Believe in Me. And it, you know, I think it's great. Savannah helped Tom with writing this one. Really nice acoustic work that complements Tom and Savannah's vocals on this one. Might be placed in a bad spot as the album's closer. We all know how I feel about ballads ending albums sometimes. But overall, I do think this is the best like love ballad type tune Tom's written on either of these two albums. Comes off as very personal, but also a lyric that anyone could relate to, which I was talking to Elle in the comments about that. There's a couple, well, and Danny brought it up too. There's a lot of stuff in Tom's lyrics that anybody can really relate to. But overall, I think if you take the majority of the songs on Rise, and I'd say about 2 or 3 of the really good tracks on The Way Life Goes, you'd have a fine, just like probably a great, I can't say like Cinderella, but I mean, it is the guy who really wrote all the Cinderella stuff. So, you know, like a long lost Cinderella album, really. I prefer Rise, but both albums have some songs to offer up if you're a fan of Kiefer's past work. Just think it's great he decided to make these so late in his career, like I was saying before. I'm glad we got more stuff out of him. It's inspiring. I'd probably go a 7 on this one.
Nice. That's good.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So so I do want to make a correction. I don't want people. So yeah, with Tom, his wife. He's actually been with her, married 22 years, but's been with her since 95. So he is divorced. He was with his first wife for 9 years. They split up in 94, but then right away he met Savannah, and he's been with her since and married. And he married her actually right before the recording of the way life goes. So that's probably where all those romance songs would come from. It makes sense. They were married in 2004. You said that was written in 2003. It didn't actually come out till 2013. So
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
yeah, so there's that. We want to make sure we get the facts right here. So yeah.
Yeah, don't be spreading false information.
Yeah, I don't want to spread rumors. And yeah, I was half right. His ex-wife is his high school girlfriend. But hey, 2 serious relationships in your whole life, that's not too many people can say I only had 2.
Especially being a big
Oh, yeah.
rock star.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard
So
to
it does say a lot to his character, right? Like
It does. It's hard to resist. When you got 10, 20 women waiting for you behind, backstage, it's awful hard to say no.
And it's funny if you watch a lot of those old 80s like Cinderella music videos, there's girls climbing all over the band members, but not him. He's kind of like
He was the smart one.
it's kind of funny. Tom Pieper is a 2-woman. There you go. Yeah, so I'll get right into it. So yeah, oh man, you were hard on this, but yeah, this is where we're gonna have to disagree. Touching the Divine, I actually like this. For me, it's a great way to start off the album. Slow, but it's heavy. It has those kind of AC/DC Thunderstruck gang vocals, the that kind of thing,
Okay.
which I don't mind. I like the female vocals on this from Savannah. She's got a great voice. I find it's a strong start so far. But then, yeah, we get to the Death of Me. Now, this song hasn't been in my head ever since I heard it for the first time. And yeah, this song was actually about his vocal struggles. And basically, losing my voice is not going to be the death of me. It's not going to take over my life. I'm still going to be able to go out there and make music. So it's not going to be the death of my life kind of thing. And it shows that in the music video. It starts off with like this little TV where it says 8 vocal surgeries. This and this and this and that. It's really cool video, but the whole song is about him defeating his vocal struggles and not being the death of him. So yeah, but yeah, the song itself, slow but heavy song, and yeah, there's just a great song, just a cool heavy riff, and just some really thunderous bass playing you hear. I'm not sure who the musicians are. It's hard to really find any information, but yeah, some actually really good bass. It's really heavy song, and yeah. This one's really been in my head. Then we get to Waiting on the Demons. Almost kind of sounds like a southern rock ballad, something like Marshall Tucker Band would do.
Ooh.
But
Yeah.
I don't like how Tom uses his screaming voice. I would have preferred him using his softer vocals for a song like this because he's doing the screaming voice on it. But I don't find it suits his voice. It's a southern rock song, but with that voice, it doesn't suit it. If this had like that southern rock vocal style to it, then I would like it. He doesn't have that voice. I'm not expecting him to do it. I just don't think it works with his voice because to me it sounds like a southern rock song. So, but it's fine for what it is. It's just And then Hype is probably the heaviest. I know you didn't like it because it kind of got that just two note thing. But yeah, it's by far the heaviest song he's ever written. It's weird. But I actually love it. It's dark and heavy, and Tom does some crazy screams on this, especially when he screams hype. And again, he brings back to some of those AC/DC gang vocals at some parts of it as well. But it's just, it's so different than anything else on this album, and I like it. And then, I guess I like to sit around and get stoned or something because I love Untitled. It's my favorite on the album. When you said that, I'm like, oh boy. I don't know what's with the title. It's called Untitled, which is strange, but yeah, it's another really dark, heavy one with some great screams. I love the bluesy leads on this one. It's easily my favorite song on the album. I just wish it had a title. It's called Untitled. It's kind of strange. And then, the song changes quite a bit as well. There's this really creepy piano part after the first guitar solo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For me, it's a highlight of the album. I'd go as far as saying it's the best song Tom ever recorded, including anything by Cinderella.
What?
There you go.
Oh my God.
I like weird music, I guess. I just like the weirdness of it. It's funny that my favorite song of his is called Untitled. It's just weird.
The best song he ever wrote, including all of Cinderella.
Yes, that's a bold statement, but
holy smoke! Well, great.
I don't even smoke, so I don't know.
No,
maybe I should start taking up weed. No, no. Oh,
that's funny.
Oh, then Rise. We get to Rise. It's another almost southern rock sounding ballad, kind of. which again doesn't work with his voice. I like Savannah's vocals actually more on this, and in a weird way, I kind of wish he let her handle the vocals for the entire song. I just find it doesn't lend well to his voice when it's like a southern rock song to me, and it just doesn't work with his voice. I don't know. Yeah, then All Amped Up. The title suits the song perfectly, just like pure AC/DC worship. Just a fun party song that I wrote makes me want to punch an old lady and kick her dog. Don't worry, I won't do that.
Very well said.
I'm sure Tom would love if I did that playing the song. Yeah. Love this one. Probably my second favorite on the album. Great high energy song and just loads of fun for me. Yeah, it's a great song.
I love it too. Yeah, great
All
song.
Amped Up. Just a fun high energy song. Yes. Yeah, that Breaking Down. Another great song here. It's kind of hard to describe. It's just like this really heavy, plodding song with Tom again screaming throughout. I wonder if he lost his voice again after this, and that's why he hasn't done any more albums, because it's like he's screaming a lot on this, especially on Hype. Like, oh my God. Like, but yeah, even on here, he's screaming throughout. Good, heavy song with a great solo, with an amazing scream right before the solos. This is another highlight. Really like Breaking Down. And then Taste for the Pain. On this, he almost sounds like Mick Jagger. If you told me this was Mick Jagger, I'd believe you. He kind of nails the Mick Jagger voice. So he's able to do a lot with his vocals. Whether I like it or not, it seems like, to me, the song screams acoustic Rolling Stones, which I admit I've never been a big fan of. For me, I've preferred the more heavier, kind of grittier Stone stuff they did. I was never big on like the Dead Flowers and the acoustic stuff that they did. It's just not my cup of tea, but I'm not saying the music sucks. It's just not my thing. But yeah, if you're into like that acoustic Stone stuff, then yeah, you would love the song, because he nails you'd swear it's Mick Jagger. Like he does a great Mick Jagger impression. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
So, and then yeah, Life Was Here. See, for me, this is heavy, but for me, it's an okay song. It starts off fast, but I don't know, it gets kind of, I don't know, repetitive, I guess you could say, but it could have used a really, really, really fast guitar solo in the middle. There's a little bit of one, but it's very short. I would have preferred, like, it's a song where you could have thrown in like a really fast solo where he could have gone nuts, but he just kind of throws in this quick one, and that's it. For me, it's okay. And then yeah, You Believe in Me, another acoustic ballad with only Tom and his guitar singing. It's fine for what it is. Tom's voice is great. It's just not something I would really listen to. It's just not my type of music. By no means terrible, just not for me. But yeah, it's that. Overall, for me, it's a much stronger album than the first one, because the songs I love on here are like, I find they're great. I'd give it a solid 7.5.
Okay.
So yeah.
We're all right about in the same area.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little worried on a couple of them.
Well, the Untitled one was a big difference there.
Yeah, it was yours, and yeah. But hey, that's what makes the world go around, man.
Oh yeah.
You know. Absolutely.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So I take it you're not a Pink Floyd fan.
You say tomato, I say tomato, you know.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent.
I get what you mean. If you're not into weird stuff, yeah, Untitled would be. It is a very weird song.
It is a strange song.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's kind of like being a musician and a writer, it's kind of like an insult to me.
See, I don't play music, so this is just from a listening aspect.
But we all have a different approach, different reasons why we listen to music, and if I say it's not, I don't like it, doesn't mean it's not good. Just I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's
all. Can't all like everything, right?
Now I'm starting a drug habit, so no, I'm kidding.
Some people like fish. I like fish.
There you go.
Fish rules, man.
Fish rules, baby.
You're talking about the band, right?
They're in Wisconsin.
No.
What? Look, doesn't like fish.
You actually meant the band or the food?
The food.
Okay.
No, not the band.
Yeah, no. Keep that Grateful Dead stuff away from me.
Okay.
That's our next band, Fish. No.
Oh,
Oh no.
please no. Please
Uh,
no.
oh no.
You know what?
Okay.
These albums have been a lot of fun. Thank you guys
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
for introducing me to Tom Kiefer. Um, he's a very talented musician and songwriter. As we find out in his ballads, he's very sensitive. And yeah, he's not just a good songwriter. He's very good lyricist, which we discussed earlier. You know, he knows where to touch for all of us to feel exactly what he's talking about. We've all been there, you know. So
Yep.
he's an all-around great songwriter, and I respect him a lot, very much so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Glad we could get you into Cinderella, Danny.
Thank you,
Awesome,
sir.
man.
Thank
And
you.
he's known for being one of like the class acts in music. There's a very few shortage, but like from what everyone said, like if you go on YouTube, there's so many people commenting, "Oh, met him after a show at this show," and he was always very grateful and talked for 20 minutes, and he was just he
Nice,
was never conceited.
nice,
Yeah.
Always one
He'd
of
be
the
one of them
good
guys
ones.
I love to meet, man.
Yeah.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a good experience for me. That would not have been something I would have listened to in the 80s at all, or 90s at all. You know,
yeah.
I was mostly into the heavier, more English stuff, or Rainbow, or UFO, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
it's funny because there's a video of him playing like his favorite riffs, and he plays like a few UFO ones. Like UFO's like Michael Schenker's one of his biggest guitar influences.
well,
Yep.
He never adapted into his music, but he doesn't need to
No.
for that kind of stuff.
no, he did better to stay away from
To just stay simple, and
stay away from
he
shit.
probably could have, but that music wouldn't really suit that kind of playing.
No, exactly. He's an artist. I mean, he stuck to what he knows, and he didn't have to be the best guitar player in the world,
No.
and he isn't by any stretch of the imagination. But he's just a complete artist. That's
Yeah.
the best way to sum him up. He's a complete artist, and he has all my respect. I don't like everything he did, but I know what he did, you know.
Yeah.
And then to get 15 million people to buy that product, that there's a lot to be said about that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep.
It's a shame we couldn't. It's a shame we didn't get you in on the first album. That would have been fun. But I'll
I
send it to
would-
you anyways.
yeah.
and you can-
I would have loved it, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So what's next on the slate, brother?
So yeah, so we're gonna get into that. So next, well, tomorrow we're gonna be playing some more music, but next week Saturday we're gonna start our John Sykes series. So we're gonna
Ooh.
start with the two Tigers of Pantang albums, and then we'll like include like there was a few songs that he was on the third album. We're not gonna cover the whole album, just cover like the two songs like a little afterward, and then I guess yeah, it would be after that you would have I guess it would be Thin Lizzy and Whitesnake, would it not? And then
Yeah.
or would it be Blue Murder? I'm fuzzy on the details of the years, but yeah.
That's a
So
lot.
we're gonna do two albums at a time. Start from Tigers of Pantang and then work our way up. Go through his like 5 solo albums as well too. So gonna
Nice.
cover all that, starting with Tigers of Pantang, and I hope Danny will join us for that.
I would love to.
Perfect. Have you heard those before?
I've heard some of it. Yeah.
Okay.
I've known John. I mean, not personally, John Sykes since Whitesnake. You know, I mean,
Well, yeah, everyone knows the Whitesnake album, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, great guitar player. I'm looking forward to studying him a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll
Perfect
be fun.
time to do it too, man.
Good way to
What's that,
honor his
Logan?
memory. What's that?
What'd you say, Logan?
Oh, it's just the perfect time to do it. Just what Sydney was getting ready to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it's gonna be a tribute, so I don't really want to. I think for this, I don't really want to rate them because I find like if I don't like it, I don't really want to kind of tarnish the guy's memory or
Don't
anything.
want anything.
I'll talk about the songs. I'll just kind of keep it short if I don't really like. I don't want to sit there rating. Oh, this is a 3 out of 10 or any. I don't want to really go there.
Great idea. That's a great idea.
Oh, it's like, yeah.
No death threats. No death threats, please.
No, please not. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we're not that cruel.
No, we're not. It's not personal. If you don't like the music, you don't like the music, right? It's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, Sad died young, and just
Yep.
yeah, so it'll be a good way to honor his memory and just discuss
Yeah.
his whole career, and so that'll be fun. So
Perfect.
we're looking forward to that, and we are. So I decided we are going to do like our little trivia thing after that, and so I wasn't sure what band we should do after the Sykes thing is over. I mean, that's a long ways from now, anyways. But so what I was thinking to do for the trivia is whoever wins like the trivia question, I'll keep a note of it, and then by the time the Psych series is done, whoever has gotten the most trivia questions right gets to pick the next band that we just do a series on. So that'll be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So that'll be.
So what are you doing tomorrow, Sid?
So tomorrow's just going to be like another music hangout. We're going to be playing 4 albums, 2 different bands. It'll be I don't know if Danny might have heard them. A band called Hawaii.
Okay.
They had Marty Friedman in them before he joined Megadeth. So we're gonna be playing that. Then there was a band, another 80s band. They did 1 album, then they did like a reunion album later on called Child's Play. So we're gonna be playing those 2 bands, and then then following Saturday we'll be starting our Sykes show. So that'll be fun. And
Lots of good stuff on the way, man.
yeah,
Sure
lots of good
is.
stuff coming up.
Very.
So,
Yes.
like to thank Danny again for being here. It's almost need to not even put special guest anymore. Just you're part of the show.
Thank you guys. It's fun. It's been a
Yeah,
lot.
of course.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have you. So
Thanks
I'd like
as
to
always, Danny.
thank
Thank
Danny again for joining us. Logan's always here, in and out, depending on. And yeah, I'm here as well, always, of course. So yeah, we'll thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.